News and facts and news and facts and news and facts and news and facts.
Just name it Facts News.
And news and facts and news and facts.
Boots and bats and boots and bats and boots and bats.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Buckhorn Podcast. I am Martelle, and with me always is Randy. What's up, Randy?
Hello.
What's going on?
Another day, another week has passed, and I am exhausted.
Really? What'd you do this week?
Everything.
Everything.
Everything on earth.
You can't do anything else?
Nope, I'm done.
You've reached the end of the
That's
internet?
it. I've peaked. I reached the end of the internet when I was like 15. Now I'm just watching reruns.
Oh, nice. And then you've reached the end of life now, too, so you can't do anything else.
Right. No, I've been obviously working my full-time job, and then, the brake booster went out on my truck. Surprise, surprise. So ordered some parts and some other parts for it. And so this week, every day after work, I had something. I was either working on building the shop for the forge or working on the truck. Band practice, something. I'm also working with a buddy for a potential business venture that will not be discussed on air.
Nice.
But just been really busy. I think in the last 4 weeks, Beth and I found out there's one night that I came straight home from work and just chilled. Other than that, I haven't been home before like 8:30 to shower and have dinner. So, but it's all good things. It's you got to work hard to be able to play hard, right?
Right.
So what have you been up to?
Work.
That's it?
Pretty much. Work, the gym. It's been raining, so can't mow. So,
right.
Got a lot of land, can't mow. So it's been raining today. Yesterday and today have been pretty much the nicest days we've had. Couldn't mow yesterday. Too wet to mow. Today, got up, started working on the deck. So finally starting to put the post on the deck so that we can get the railings done. And then you showed up and interrupted all that so that we could record a show.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Got you out of working.
That's right. So, but I'll go back into doing that after the show and try to get that finished up, waiting for other parts to come in. Other than that, not much. Worked on the Audi some yesterday.
Trying to fix.
There's a rattle in the door. The one of the window regulator cables was smacking up against the window when it was down.
The window regulators need to mount up.
Yeah, well, now it is. Now it's just got a squeak.
It sounds like a car. It's always going to have a something.
Well, it sounds like glass, like rubber on glass. Like that little... Like
a squeegee or something?
Yeah, like a dry squeegee. Dry squeegee on dry glass. So trying to figure out how to get that to stop. Something like that, yeah.
Trying to make a squeegee sound, and I have no clue how to.
It's absolutely enough to drive me insane. But I hear every little sound in the car anyway.
That might be worse than Pop Rocks.
I'm going to hit you.
I was getting the death glare. Well, that's not good.
Other than that, ordered tires for it because it needs new tires. So just waiting for those to come in on Tuesday.
You just need an old truck because then you're going, hey, everything makes a noise and you don't worry about any of it.
Well, technically, I have an old truck.
Oh.
But it's modern. We call it the FJ.
Yeah. That's nicer than like my kind of old truck, though.
It is nicer. Like, you know what? It's so old now, I might be able to get vintage plates for it.
I was watching America's Got Talent, and there's a comedian on there that has Tourette's, which that in of itself is comical to me. And he was talking about how he loves driving around like an $800 car. Because he's like, you get in a road race thing and, you get out to fight and the guy's like, I'll key your car. And he's like, listen here, I'll key my own car. Like, what else you got? So I don't know. I park my truck in a lot somewhere and I tend to park farther out in the big open spaces, not because my truck's so nice. I'm worried about getting another dent in it, but I'm just trying to make myself walk farther,
Right.
And if I come out, somebody's parked real close to me, I'm like, it ain't going to hurt my door. It is what it is. So
you're only harming yourself.
There's a benefit to having an old truck with no car payment. I told my buddy, hey, my brake booster went out, so I ordered a new brake booster and master cylinder and some other things that just needed a little love. And He's like, oh man, $100 you didn't expect. I was like, yeah, but I haven't bought a part for this in like 4 months, and I have not paid one single payment on it. So, you know, it kind of evens out.
It does. There are benefits to having an older vehicle. There are downfalls, not being able to find those parts.
Well, these old trucks, they're a dime a dozen.
Well,
you can find them online all over the place.
You had a bitch of a time, though, finding that clutch part.
Oh, yeah, that one pin. That's okay. Prairie Ford has it in South Dakota. I don't know if they have any more. I may have gotten the last one in existence.
I think you bought the last one in the universe.
I should have made a mold in case I have to cast my own in the future.
You may be making your own in the future.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think about making my own.
Yeah, you may have to figure out how to get some all thread and some wire ties and a welder.
Got it.
Done.
Got 2 kinds of welders. We got some all thread. We'll be fine.
Figure it out. No big deal.
I'll stick a Lincoln log in there and duct tape it together.
But yeah, other than that, tried a new beer yesterday. I'm not a huge fan of anything pumpkin spice. You can shove that PSL shit up your ass.
Did you try pumpkin spice?
No, I hate pumpkin spice.
Oh, okay.
But this was a pumpkin ale, which it was good. It was a pumpkin ale with habanero and cinnamon.
See, I don't get the habanero and
it was
anything that's not savory. Any kind of
no. This was
jalapeno.
This was surprisingly good. I have one downstairs if you would like to try it after the show. Or maybe we'll just take a quick advertisement break, and no one will ever know that we took a break, and you can try one.
Pause mid sentence. We'll just there'll just be a glitch. And like, man, my computer messed up.
They won't even know that. So how was that beer, Randy? It was pretty good.
Oh,
right?
It's delicious.
See?
It's amazing pumpkin beer. I'm not a big beer drinker, anyways. That's one of the things. Even when I used to drink a lot, back when I was living with my buddy before I was married, you know, we would of course do dumb things and play drinking games and stuff. And he would drink when we first moved in together. He drank Natty Light. And I put a stop to that because the first time I ever smelled it and let it touch my lips, I poured it down the drain and said, no way. I finally got him to graduate to Coors Light. Natty Light's worse. Like Coors
Light. It's yak piss. It's all yak piss. It all comes from the same urinal.
That yaks use?
That yaks use.
That is, I didn't even know they used a urinal.
Well, right. Well, you'd be surprised. It's the same.
It's the same. Yaks?
The urinal is just the floor of the barn that they're staying in.
Oh, a whole gaggle of yaks?
A gaggle, yeah. A murder of yaks.
A murder of yaks? I thought that was only crows.
Well, now it's yaks.
A brood?
Herd.
It might be herd. They're more cow-like. I wonder how they taste. Now I want to try yak. Somebody let me know if I can get yak
tough.
meat.
It's probably tough and gamey.
I don't care. I'd eat it.
I mean, I'll try
about it.
Groundhog's greasy and gamey, so
I haven't had groundhog.
It's greasy.
I recently had rabbit.
Rabbit's good.
Yeah, I mean, I've had it before, but I've recently had and deer.
Bush, Bud Light, Coors, Miller, they all taste the same.
See, out of all those, though, they're all light beer is beer flavored water. It's something that if you're out mowing, like you got a good piece of land here, if you're out working in the yard all day on the deck all day, you can drink that and not ever worry about even getting a buzz.
Right. You'll
sweat it out. Like it's so people when they talk to me about beers, which again I don't drink a lot of beer anymore. It's very rare if I do, and somebody may listen to this and be like, "Oh, I didn't know you drink," or I thought you were a Christian. Look, I get so tired of
just because you're Christian doesn't mean you can't drink.
Well, here's my problem with the whole Christians don't drink thing. Okay. If you don't drink because you're afraid of how it affects your witness or because you're afraid of what somebody thinks for you, that's fine. But don't condemn other people for it, especially when you're willing to go to a buffet and throw down 4 plates of food. Don't tell me how one beer with a steak is going to damage my body.
Right.
Or is worse for me than Golden Corral's anything,
Golden Corral's disgusting.
Well, right. And anytime, that's the thing. It's like anytime we do anything, perfect example, yesterday our church had a worship team choir, all the people play music, had a picnic. Tons of food. I went home with a pan of catered in 7 Miles barbecue. Hey, shout out to a local business in Chillicothe, Ohio that I know the owners of, kind of. 7 Miles barbecue. Get your meat there.
Put that meat in your mouth.
But yeah, no, it's like everything though with Christians centers around food. It's carry in, try Martha's casserole, and you go up and get 9 plates. I'm sitting there like, look, we're being gluttonous. That's one of the 7 deadly sins. Somebody having a drink, it's. I don't flaunt it. I don't go around drinking crazy all the time. But for me, beer is not something I It's okay. A good beer's all right, I guess, but it's not something I go after. It's I don't
know. I like
the Coors Light. See, if I'm going to drink a cheap one, I like Coors Light because it is just cool and refreshing. I don't want anything thick.
I'll see. I like a good. I want something that's got some substance to it.
Substance is fine, but if you got like a Guinness, that's too thick.
Well, I'm not even talking about Guinness. Like a porter. A porter isn't thick.
Wouldn't be bad.
A blonde ale, a saison.
A pale ale?
Fuck no. IPAs can kiss my ass. Yeah, a pale ale, an Indian pale ale.
Who makes pumpkin beer that's not an IPA?
It's just a pumpkin beer isn't a pale ale.
Yeah, I don't know IPAs. I don't know beer that well.
It can be a stout. I mean, you can have an IPA, I guess, that has pumpkin in it, but most pumpkin ales are just an ale. It's just a.
Oh. I don't know.
It's just the way it's brewed. They're not hoppy.
I know anytime I've tried an IPA, it's just super hoppy and just...
Yeah, well, most IPAs are super hoppy. They're disgusting.
They're not good.
No, they're very citrusy.
And they're expensive, right?
No, not necessarily.
I don't buy... Yeah, they're always citrusy.
They're super citrusy.
If you want a citrusy beer, just get a Blue Moon and be done with it.
Well, even those aren't citrusy. That's a Belgian wheat.
Oh, well, that was not bad. I haven't had one in years, but yeah. I remember liking Blue Moon, okay.
Belgian wheat's good. And with those, you just throw an orange in it.
Right.
And
that's how I had it. I've only tried it once.
Like IPAs twice. Are done. They're like, oh, well, we did this with some grapefruit and some other bullshit. And we took a handful of hops and shoved it up our ass and stirred it around a bit and then spit it out.
Your language is offensive today.
Yeah. Well, last episode was really bad.
It was. I got feedback on that.
Yeah, did you?
I had a new listener, somebody that is a good friend of mine, and he listened. I said, well, let me know what you think when you get done. First episode. And he texted me, said, it was funny and I like it. I'll definitely be listening again to see what you all do. I don't know if that's kind of the Howard Stern aesthetic of, if you watch the movie back in the day, they were like, his listeners are up to 60-some%. And
why do they listen?
They listen because they want to see what he'll say next. And it's like, the people that are hating are up like 78%. Why? They want to see what he'll say next. So he's like, I don't know what your target audience is, but he might be saying the F word a little too much. I was like, yeah, well, we try to throw out that Martelle is not family friendly.
I'm not a friendly person.
Family friendly?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
You have not even been drinking today.
Not yet. I'm not family friendly. There is an explicit tag on this podcast just for that reason.
Maybe we should throw that out on the Facebook too.
I will say that the last 4 digits of my phone number, I will not give out all of it, but the last 4 digits end in 3825, and if you pull up your phone, it is not DUCK. It was not meant to be duck. It is.
Now I got to know your area code, which will be easy to figure out, and your cell phone provider.
What? Hey,
I can have your phone number, or I guess I can just
have my phone number. I mean,
I'm seriously just like, hold on a second. But our listeners could have your phone number.
That's fine, but it's not a family friendly show. And I've gotten feedback like, oh, I told so and so, I told my kid to listen because they're super into podcasts. I'm like, don't let them listen to this podcast.
Don't let them listen to any of them.
Like,
well, I mean, seriously.
They're like, well, yeah, I'm fine with it. And I'm like, don't let them listen.
Did they listen to it?
I preempted them. I'm like, don't let them listen to this episode.
I told one of my buddy who will remain nameless. He's today his wife and daughter were out of town with her family or something. He was like, he listened to our sports conspiracy podcast because he also knows GW, and he thought it was funny how fired up he got. And I said, did you listen to the most current one? Because you're going to think it's hilarious, but do not listen around your wife or kid. Like his wife would be okay because she knows me.
It is not family friendly.
And he said no. And then today he's like, oh, they're out. I was like, dude, listen to it. And then he texted me like half an hour ago, snarf. That's it. And I was just like, dude, I knew I would get a text just saying that.
I've gotten some messages at work. It's just been
that was snarf. Just off the deep end.
That's still
my one
favorite.
buddy that talked about our target audience. He's also one that he prefers Guinness, and he's a landscape company, working hard outside all day, and he comes home and drinks a thick beer.
Yeah,
and I told him, I was like, I don't have a desire. If I was offered a thick beer for free, I'd probably pass. It's just. I don't know. I'm not as big a beer drinker as I used to be, and he tagged me on Facebook on a picture of some real thick. It looked like a nice beer, but him and his wife were having for dinner. My simple question was, did you have to cut it with a knife? If I need a fork and a knife to eat my beer, it's too thick.
I like a good. So when I'm out for dinner, if I'm having like a steak or something, I want a nice dark beer with that steak. Like I want.
I don't.
Or
I've never had a dark beer with a steak, but I don't think I would.
9 times out of 10, I'll order an old fashioned or a Manhattan.
See, that would be more up my alley.
But in most cases, like on hot days, like if I'm working outside, I will not drink a bourbon. I will not have a whiskey. I will not have a cocktail of any kind.
So that's why you don't have one right now then?
Was because I was outside
You're
working.
Outside, yeah. I was wondering.
Because they're just too hard to drink. They're not.
I'll just man up.
No,
they're just a couple ice cubes in, let them melt a little. You're
even
fine.
then, it's not good. It's just
you want something refreshing.
I want something refreshing, so I will do, and even that, like a porter or a stout, something along those lines that's darker. I typically won't do if I'm outside if I'm out working on a car, working on the deck, mowing the grass. I will not do one of those. I will do a blonde ale or a saison or something, a wheat ale.
So those are like the lighter,
something
smoother.
a little lighter.
Okay,
but I refuse to let I will even do lagers, which is basically what a Bud Light or they consider themselves a lager.
Right.
But I will refuse to do a Bud Light. I will not let that pass my lips.
A Bud Light?
Oh, yeah.
You just said you do a lager, which Bud Light is.
But I will not drink a Bud Light or a Coors Light. There are different types of lagers as well. They're not Bud Lights or Coors Lights.
Or so you're saying a lager like a Bud Light, but not a Bud Light.
Correct.
So is it like the American, like the standard American ones are Bud Light, Miller Light, Coors Light?
Yeah, Bush
Light. Yeah. Get a Bush Light.
Give me a natty. Give me a natty or a Beast.
I don't know why the people that drink Bush Light always have that smoker's kind of voice in my head.
I don't know. But I won't. I just won't drink any of that
I will
crap.
say the only Bush that I can recall having was for a bachelor party I was at. Man, it's been years ago. And there was a keg of some sort, and it was apparently Bush Light in that. And I had a cup of it, and I was done. That was enough. But there were other things that happened that were there that were not beer. That's a story for another time.
Okay.
And it was I'm going to protect the innocent by not even telling that full story. Plus, we don't have the time. But for one buddy's bachelor party, he had kind of... We all got to a point where we were partying pretty heavy, and he decided to chill and get a grip on things because he was getting a little older and trying to get into starting a business. And he just didn't want to be throwing his money at liquor and partying all the time anymore. So he had a bachelor party, but he didn't want us all to be drinking there. Fair enough. We support you. So we all made it a big joke and went out and got a big old 24 pack of Bush NA, standing for non-alcoholic. It's kind of like O'Doul's. And it had the Bush taste and none of the alcohol in it. So it was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah.
You should have just drank water with yellow dye number 5. I mean, you literally could have gotten away with getting Stelter water and yellow dye number 5.
Stelter water.
And got the same effect.
La Croix. Carbonated tap water from Michigan.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's
Man, we're getting on hipster drinks.
It's got essence of
coconut. I wonder if they're going to have a pumpkin spice LA Crocs, as I call it.
God, that stuff. I hate pumpkin spice. And it's getting
I like
to be
pumpkin spice in pumpkin pie. I like it. Okay, see, I'm from Circleville, so we have pumpkin show every year.
Pumpkin pie is different than all this pumpkin spice. Like,
I know, bullshit. That's where I'm headed.
And like, so what did I do? Like a couple years ago. So at work, we typically do a gift exchange for Christmas.
Yeah, you talked about that before.
Yeah. So, and I did a pumpkin spice. I call it the basic bitch package. And it was all pumpkin pie based or pumpkin spice based items in this bag.
Okay.
So I took an old pair of...
You should just put a pumpkin in and a thing of cinnamon.
Oh, no.
Build your own kit.
I did one better than that. Someone in the office left a pair of pumpkin spice scones on my desk around October.
So you just saved them?
I saved them. And they were hard as a rock. I just put them in a drawer and I'm like, we'll just set those there. We'll leave them. And that's kind of what started the whole theme for that, for that gift for the year. And then I went out and got pumpkin spice shredded mini wheats, pumpkin spice.
I would try that.
Morsels.
Like the mini wheats frosted.
Yeah, frosted mini wheats.
I would try that.
Pumpkin spice chocolate cooking morsels.
Okay.
Like they weren't chocolate, obviously.
I know what you mean. The little chips.
The chip morsels. Witch's Brew, which is a spiced wine. is gross. It's
I
disgusting.
don't say it sounds awful.
It's not pumpkin spice, but it's spiced wine. It's gross. I took Harley had a pair of baby Uggs. So I got a pair of baby Uggs and put those in the bag as well. I think I put maybe a $10 Starbucks gift card in there just to...
You have to.
Because, yeah, you have to. And...
It's easier than putting a Starbucks coffee in there.
Right. And I think I put maybe a coffee cup in there. And the guy who got it was none appreciative of being called a basic bitch.
Choose your gifts wisely, my friends.
Well, I mean, it's a blind tasting essentially. So he picked the bag, and when he pulled out the little pair of baby Uggs, he was none thrilled that he was taking those home to his girlfriend at the time, who is now his fiance, and they're getting married later. But
it all worked out. You're fine.
Yeah, so I'm
You're
good
welcome for the baby Uggs.
He was just like, "This is not cool."
Yeah, I don't do pumpkin spice much. Being from Circleville, we have the pumpkin show, which is called the greatest free show on earth. The town, when we moved there, years 23 years ago, I think, there's like 14,000 people in Circleville. Now there's like 30 something. So it's getting bigger.
It's getting bigger.
The third week of October every year, over 100,000 people flock to our little town. They shut down the streets and have the pumpkin show, which has been going on for over 100 years. And it started as a little kind of farmer's market. They grow the giant pumpkin. They have a few rides. They have a
contest. Who has the biggest pumpkin.
And now it's huge. Like Lindsay's Bakery in Circleville, shout out to another local place that makes awesome donuts year round. They have pumpkin spice donuts or pumpkin donuts.
They're
just pumpkin donuts, whatever. They're amazing.
Donuts. Yeah, they're fantastic, and I've had them once.
I'll try and get you some this year.
Well, I will go down and get them, and I've been down to the pumpkin show once.
That's all it takes.
I will not go back down.
Right.
It is a shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Disaster. It's
a mess.
Humanity.
It's literally small town Ohio. With like
at its worst
5 to 6 times the amount of people it's meant to hold.
Yeah, it's over capacity.
Way over capacity. It'll take you 2 hours to get to where you can find a place to park.
It'll take you 2 hours just to get back to your car when you want to leave.
But here's the thing, like the whole pumpkin spice thing. When I first moved there from Columbus, we were in middle school. I was. My brother's in elementary school. And everybody was getting all excited talking about pumpkin show when the school year started, back in which at the time was either late August, early September. They're talking about pumpkin show, and you get out of school for the week. You don't get a full week or whatever for spring break. You get pumpkin show off. Well, you kind of have to because buses can't even get through town.
Yeah, there's no moving.
Yeah, they shut it down for the week. So, while they're setting up, the days were off, me and my buddy would get on our bikes and ride around. And one time I wasn't paying attention. I was looking back at him and laughing because he almost fell. And then I ran into the back of a pickup. Fun little side story about my childhood. And it was on my brand new Diamondback Viper, too. Scratched the paint. That bike's still hanging in my dad's pole barn. I saw it the other day. It is not in good shape. Neither am I.
You should get it out. Start riding it.
Yeah. Looked like one of those Russian bears on the tiny bikes in a circus or something.
That's amazing.
And but they have pumpkin everything. And when I say everything, people are like, pumpkin coffee and pumpkin donuts. No, they have pumpkin pizza. I tried. And the same face you're making right now was the first face I had when I heard about it. And then I tasted it and I went, that's really good once a year. It wasn't as pumpkin-y or anything. It was like a sweet, pizza with sweet sauce.
Yeah.
Which I love. It was like that.
Like a sugar sauce.
Yeah, kind of.
Like a sugary tomato sauce.
Pumpkin burgers. Pumpkin sloppy joes.
So pumpkin burgers I've had, and I've actually made those.
If you like pumpkin burgers, you'll probably like the pumpkin pizza.
It depends on how much pumpkin's in it.
Not much, but it's got a little of that sweet and savory thing. Kind of like a chocolate-covered pretzel concept.
I guess.
So
I don't know. I took pumpkin puree, mixed it in with the meat.
And that's how you made it?
And that's how I made it. I didn't add any nutmeg. I didn't add any pumpkin spice. It was just pumpkin puree, mixed it in with the meat, threw it out on the grill, and it was turkey. So it wasn't cow.
It was lower grade meat anyway for a hamburger. Turkey burger.
It was tasty.
Yeah. Next thing I know, you're going to be having pumpkin spice soy burgers up here on your fancy new deck.
I'm going to teabag you.
Snarf. So anyway, but they have pumpkin. Like I tried pumpkin taffy and all kinds of pumpkin coffee and all this, and it was okay. But Starbucks, man, so many people go nuts for the pumpkin spice, and it's coming right up. They're about to start pumpkin spice. PSL season is about to open, and the Uggs and yoga pants. That's the thing.
Well,
that gets me too.
then that's a Starbucks thing. Let's be clear.
No, that's an everywhere thing. I see that way more places than Starbucks.
Yeah, but Starbucks started the whole pumpkin spice.
Oh, that yeah. But here's really the whole reason. I don't know. I guess I've been talking about pumpkin spice. Is Starbucks during the same time there's a pumpkin spice. This is the only time I go to Starbucks anymore. That same season, they never advertise it. They have a salty caramel mocha,
right,
with the sea salt. Oh, and they will sell it until they run out of sea salt and they're done for the year.
Yeah, it's good. Oh, it's 1,600 calories.
I don't care.
It's a full meal in one sitting.
I will just get one of those and be good for a day.
Ugh.
Oh, they're so good. It is. It's sugar overload. The carb, but
and that's the other thing.
It's my favorite. If I want to pay $9 for a coffee, it's going to be that.
How can you go into any place to get coffee and be like, all right, I want a coffee. Look at their board.
And not know what you're looking at?
No, not even not look what you're looking at. Look at a coffee and go, how the hell does your coffee have 90 calories in it?
Right, when a standard cup of black coffee has like 0.5.
Yeah. Like your coffee has 90 calories and a regular cup of coffee may have like 20 calories in it, and it's brown water.
A regular cup of coffee doesn't have calories.
Well, I'm just giving it some.
You're
just because.
Just making up fake news.
But how the hell does a cup of coffee, just a black cup of coffee, have 90 calories in it? What are you putting in your coffee, Starbucks, to give it calories? Like, there shouldn't be anything in coffee, let alone you order a latte and it doesn't have any coffee in it other than a single shot of espresso, and for it to have like 1,600 calories in the damn thing.
Well, I don't know. I just looked up a standard cup of coffee has 1 calorie.
Okay.
And it's one of those about one. It's like less than 1 calorie.
Look up a standard cup of Starbucks.
Okay, so
just
Starbucks.
A black cup of coffee from Starbucks.
Coffee.
They're Arabica beans.
Calories, 80.
one cup of Starbucks coffee. Black Starbucks coffee has 80 calories.
And you're going to pay $4 for that black coffee?
I can go to Speedway and get a cup of coffee.
I'll go to Speedway.
And get a 1 calorie cup.
A large one.
A large.
For less than $1.
For less than $1, and take, we'll just say 3 calories to match the grande size, which is their Starbucks is small, or whatever it is.
Well, I think, this might be the way the world's going with this whole wussifying everything. We're starting to get our
fruity of America.
We're getting these fruity beers and these pumpkin spice coffee. Used to be you go into a coffee and you just get a black coffee. You would have asked for creamer, you'd ask for sugar.
Yeah.
Now I go to anywhere. That Olympic night I was talking about. Hey, I want a coffee. Okay, they bring out the coffee because it's a small mom and pop shop. They don't ask what flavor. Do you want it caffeinated, decaf? They bring out a coffee. That's what I ordered.
Would you like creamer?
Then she also brought a bunch of creamer and there's sugar on the table. And I was like, I don't need any of this creamer, but thank you. She wasn't mean about it. I wasn't mean about it, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm black coffee. I'd rather have bourbon than a beer. If I'm going to drink anything, it's going to be it. I'd rather have, I don't know. I guess I'm more simple. Give me water over a Pepsi.
I'm the same way.
I don't need fruity.
I don't need.
My favorite's when you go to a friend's house, and I have used them before, and I still will, and it's nothing about it. But
Pop Rocks.
Yes, Pop Rocks. Back in my day, Pop Rocks just tastes like gravel.
Because it was gravel.
Oh, we were very poor.
Yes, you were.
Good news is we still are. So anyway, no, but the you go to somebody's house, like, you want a water? Yeah, sure, I'll take a water, and they give you a bottle. Okay, that's cool. I could just drink tap water. I'm not one of those people like, that water's too gross. It's icky. Water tastes different. I grew up drinking out of a hose. I'd stick my head under a spigot outside somewhere. One of those, you're at a park and got one of those faucet pump things. I drink out of that. So I've drank nasty water. It's water. As long as it don't kill me, whatever.
This actually came up on Facebook the other day.
Well, my favorite is when they go, what flavor packet do you want for it?
Well, I've never been asked that.
And I'm like, really? I have.
I have never been asked that.
Do you want some raspberry lemonade mix to put in, the little single, which I have used them. I got nothing against them. But I was like, I just want water. That's it. If I wanted a Gatorade, I'd ask for a Gatorade.
I've never been asked that. But someone on Facebook posted the other day, like, what's up with all these people? Why can't you just drink tap water? And my response was, I grew up on tap water. I grew up on drinking.
I still drink tap water.
I do. Well, I would. I drink tap water, but my tap water is out of the fridge.
Tap water's just been cooled.
Or it's out of a well.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, my tap water is out of a well, but I drink city water when I'm at work.
Mm-hmm.
But my response was, I grew up on tap water. I grew up on city water. I drank water out of a hose. Like in the 80s, that shit wasn't BPA free.
No. Well, here's the best thing. I mean, I brought 2 bottles of water here in case I get parched. And my favorite thing is a bunch of companies, like I think it was a year or 2 ago, someone's telling me all these water companies got like in major trouble by like the FDA or whoever.
Yeah.
Because they always say like mountain fresh spring water. And
they were just filling it up out of the city tap water.
It's literally tap water that's just been, and this one even says processed by advanced filtration, ozone and reverse osmosis technologies. So I paid for this water that is tap water from who knows where. I'm trying to figure out.
It's probably from Detroit or Flint.
From Flint. Well, they filtered it really well. It looks clear at least. But anyway, yeah, so they had to quit saying it was spring water unless it's from a real spring.
Yeah.
And which there are a few that I know of, like Ice Mountain. That one apparently is from a real spring. And it's like the cheapest one. Dasani, everybody's like, man, this water's nasty.
Owned by Coke.
It's all tap water.
Yeah.
People that buy bottled water are paying for tap water because they don't want to drink tap water.
It is
just buy a filter. It
is the greatest marketing scheme.
It's the pet rock,
and wool pulled over the eyes ever.
Yeah, it's the pet rock, like, but magnified, like multiplied. It's
right,
which I like. It's convenient. I got home. My wife was getting ready to lay down for a nap. We drove separate to church today, and I head home. And before I even left, she said, "Hey, I laid a shirt out for you to change into. I put 2 waters in the freezer, so it'll be nice and cold, and I made you a sandwich of that leftover barbecue from yesterday, so you can grab it and go."
Nice.
So it's nice to grab bottled water. It's nice to not worry about spilling all over the car or anything, or worrying about a cup with the lid. So I ain't got nothing against bottled water, but let's not act like we're too good for tap water. It's just, if it's that big a deal, I can teach you how to use sand and grass and charcoal and filter your own water in your backyard with a natural filtration system.
I mean, I've got water bottles out the ass. Like I've got a whole.
That must hurt.
It does. I'm a water bottle shitting factory because we've got water bottles everywhere.
You can't say it's from a spring then.
It's not, and it's not the plastic ones like what you're drinking out of. It's the refillable ones, like the kid.
I saw some on your counter.
Oh, we got. There's
like 3 or 4 sitting right on your counter, and I came in today.
And our glass cabinet that we keep all of our glasses in.
Yeah.
The top shelf of that is
just
stacked.
Water bottles.
It's nothing but water bottles because the girls keep getting them for free, or we get them for doing a competition, or we get them for going here, or you sign up for something and they give you a water bottle. We've started giving water bottles away.
I'll take 4.
Okay.
Actually, I think we've got a bunch too.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't. Every time you turn around, someone's giving away a water bottle.
Hey, first person to ask on Facebook page for a free water bottle, we'll mail you one.
You're paying the shipping.
Me or them?
Them.
I'll cover shipping. I think I got like free stamps or something laying around. I'll cover shipping. Somebody comment on our Facebook page. Here we go. First person to leave us a review on what medium? iTunes
or Facebook?
Either one. First person to leave us a review gets a free water bottle. No questions asked. We'll just mail it to you. You give us a review, send us your address. It'll be on its way eventually whenever I get around to it.
Don't post your address publicly.
No. Send it to us via private message, please. We are not responsible for anything that arrives at your house or any persons who arrive at your house.
Right.
Anyway, man, that was like a weird like opening.
Weird, long, unscripted, what chaps my cheeks. Beverages.
Yeah, totally unscripted.
Yeah. Well, that's what this show is. It's completely unscripted.
Yeah, somebody asked me today, actually, I watched the video of your podcast, but I'm going to be honest, I haven't listened. And I said, well, thank you. And they said, what's it about? Like, what's the I said, nothing. I said, we're Seinfeld.
It's completely
just whatever
unscripted.
Happens in our life, that's what we talk about. So,
I mean, it's figured out on the day of.
The funny thing is, a lot of people we've talked about don't know we've talked about them. They're like, if I've hung out with you recently, odds are I've got a story to share, and it may end up here.
Yeah. Yep. It may happen. So let's see. I was looking to go over some news today. I mean,
some more news stories.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
We got some news. It's been a hot minute. So, and I've got a couple good ones. One was right here in Columbus. So, and I saw this posted from a mutual friend of ours, where some work was being done on North High Street, and the workers hit a water main.
Yes, I saw this one.
All right, so that actually hit the news.
Well, why wouldn't it?
Right.
So tell us what happened.
So I don't even need to read the article to know what happens. I mean, I read what the post that was on Facebook.
They made it basically a meme.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know they made it a meme, but
okay.
I saw the post that our buddy had posted,
right?
And read what had happened. But as I was searching for news to talk about today, this came up on one of the things. So what had happened was that they're doing some work up on North High. I think it's North High.
Yeah, I think so.
And they're doing some road work. They're digging holes. They're trying to fix whatever the issue is. And they hit a water main.
Right.
Water main. Yeah, big water main, pressurized. Water starts spraying up into the air.
Geyser. Did you see you saw the picture?
I saw the picture, yeah.
Looked like
Geyser.
Yellowstone out there.
Yeah, there's a guy in the hole, in the ground.
Right.
Standing there. There's
hard
a guy. Hard hat's on. There's a shovel with dirt in it, like big, backhoe shovel, not a guy holding a shovel. There's a guy standing up in the road.
4 months digging that hole.
Just digging.
Took forever to get through that pipe.
He's like ting ting ting. There's a guy standing at street level looking down at the guy, and next thing to know, this guy comes out on the porch, and his response is, it's not every day you see a guy come outside. I was taking a fucking shower, runs off the porch and finishes taking his shower in the water main break.
Like in the shower coming down
naked,
from
just finishes the shower.
Busiest road going north and south through Columbus.
So I'll post the picture online of the picture. I mean, you look in the background in the spray. There is a naked ass
just out there showering. He's like, hey,
out there showering.
I got to get to work.
So he's just like, I'm done. I can't handle it.
Maybe if he had more water bottles laying around, he could have just rinsed off his shower.
So,
and if we were smart enough, we would have grabbed bottles and filled them from there and then sold them.
Right.
That's a natural spring shooting out of the ground.
So we've got that going. I think it's funny. I think I don't know that I would have. I literally don't think I would have the balls to run outside naked in the middle of a neighborhood. What I was going to say.
I do not have cojones big enough to go out there and not care or to impress. I would. All I picture is like Peter Griffin when he's naked running down the street. I don't know if you've ever seen that on Family Guy, but that's about what I'd look like. I think I get the fact I hate. In our new apartment, which is now, it landed me literally in Pumpkin Show. I didn't mention that.
Oh, you're in the middle now?
I will walk out my front door and be in Pumpkin Show. People will be cutting through our yard, I'm sure. It's just going to be a mess. But
let's just walk outside. Like,
I'll tell you one thing.
Get off my lawn.
I'll probably have a whole list. We'll do an hour-long Chaps on My Cheeks episode that following week. I guarantee it.
Can't wait. It's going to be fun.
I'll be fresh off hernia surgery, fresh off having a new baby.
Oh, you make sure you pop a bunch of pills before you come over and have Beth drive you.
Oh, it's going to do next. It's not next week. The week after, it'll be. I get it next. Not this tomorrow Monday, but next Monday. I'm sure I'll be a mess. I told her to record me. I said, you don't have to post it, but record it. Because if I say anything funny, I need to be able to use it for something.
Right. We'll post it on the Facebook
I'm sure
page.
That's all you need is me here on Vicodin, where I cannot use my filter, what's left of it. But, what were we even talking? Oh, yeah. Talking about running out in the shower. I don't know if I would have the wherewithal in our apartment. Sometimes if you flush the toilet, the shower pressure just tanks for like 2 minutes.
You need a pressure regulator.
Yeah, well, we're renting. I'm not going to pay for a pressure regulator.
Well, no, you need to tell the landlord to get a pressure regulator.
You know, the rent's good there, whatever. It's cool. It's an old house with a lot of really cool like antique features, like old doorknobs and they modernize the light fixtures and some of the windows and stuff. So I love the place, but I can't imagine being in the shower and that happening and me going, you know what? I just need to run outside. I'm covered in soap head to toe. I want to run outside and I'm not grabbing that towel because that would take too long.
Yeah.
I got to get my shower done and get to work or to habaneros or wherever it is you had to go.
I couldn't do it. I'm just not big enough.
I'm too big in all the wrong areas.
I just don't have it.
I'm only black from the forehead up. It's just, I don't know, man. Here's one thing. I hate being in tight clothes and wearing a belt or wearing like when I go home, I want to be in some loose baggy shorts and I may or may not even have a t-shirt on. I like being able to relax. I like not being constricted. And I always thought, man, nudist colony is the way to go, until you think, wait, everybody at that nudist colony probably looks like me, and I don't want to see all that.
Right.
It's just, if I could just have my own compound, my own island, then maybe I'd go outside naked. But the best I've ever done is going outside in my underwear, and that was when we lived way back out in the woods. It's like, oh crap, I forgot something in the truck. I literally got there barefoot, nothing but my underwear. There's a good picture for those of you that know me. That's why you also don't want to surprise visit certain people.
Oh, because they'll just show up.
You'll just be there in your underwear.
What's up?
And answer the door. But yeah, that guy, kudos to him for finishing his shower.
Yeah, he's much bigger man than I am. Next one. Well, what do you got?
I don't have news. I have interesting facts.
Oh, so news and facts.
And news and facts. Facts and news. And these are definitely facts because I found them on Instagram. So they're all correct.
They're on the internet.
They're definitely on the internets. They are on the line. But I can read through a couple of them. There's some I found really interesting. Speaking of beverages.
Okay.
Until 1948, 7-Up contained lithium citrate, a mood stabilizer used to treat bipolar disorder.
Can they put it back in and I will drink more 7-Up?
See, that's my thought. I'm sitting here. The problem with it being Instagram and the fact that I don't read or look into any of it, I just take it for its word because it doesn't affect my life if that's right or wrong. But I'm thinking, why would they remove that if it didn't hurt people and it helped people that are bipolar? Leave it in.
Leave it in.
They
used to put Coke in
Coca-Cola.
Coke. So,
and a lot of medicines and many other things.
They also used to put mercury in medicine too. So
here's another one I found. There's a place called the Center of the Universe. Did you know that? It's here in America.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's a circle on the ground in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Some people think they're the center of the universe.
Oh, yeah, well, a lot of people think that's a lot of universe size here. But this one, and here's what I find fascinating about this. This is the only reason I would ever travel to Tulsa, Oklahoma without being paid to do so, I think. It said there's broken concrete there. It's surrounded by a large circle of bricks, kind of like yellow brick road bricks, you know. It says you'd never notice it unless you started talking while standing in the middle. There, you'll hear your voice loudly echoing back at you. Here's the kicker that got me. Nobody outside the circle will hear a thing, and nobody knows why.
Huh.
So apparently people have tried, there's a picture of the circle and somebody standing there, and it's kind of got like a concrete fence wall thing. It looks like a park courtyard kind of thing.
Okay.
And apparently people have gone there and tested this, where you stand there and you hear an echo of your own voice, even though there's really no walls around, but people standing just on the other side of that fence can't hear you.
It's got to be physics.
Nobody can explain it. It's got to be something. Maybe that's the portal for the lizard people. I don't know.
Road trip.
Let's go.
I'm in. Let's go.
Up the S5, squeaky window and all.
Yep, we're going.
Yeah, I got a bunch of facts. You want me to read some more?
Yeah, do one more and then I got another.
One more. Let me see. Here you go. Here's somebody we can all aspire to be. Pretty Boy Floyd was an American bank robber who would often destroy mortgage documents while he was robbing a bank.
Nice.
So not only would he go in and get his cash, he would find the mortgage documents in a file cabinet or whatever and completely destroy them.
Does it say why? Because I have a theory.
Here's why. Freeing many citizens of their debt. The bank had no records of who owed what.
Right.
They can't prove anything anymore. So it says, though Floyd was involved in numerous murders and robberies, he had a positive public image and was known as the Robin Hood of the Cookson Hills. I want to put forth that we maybe look up more on this guy.
We don't have to. I have some background information on him as...
No way.
So... Let me pull it up because I'll have to pull up some more stuff, but he was actually a family friend.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I found this randomly today. Here's the thing that fascinates me with that. If you're going to be a murderer / bank robber, and I feel like the murders probably came as a side effect of the robberies, because people that are serial killers do it for the thrill of it or whatever's messed up in their brain. They didn't drink enough 7-Up pre-1948 or whatever. This guy was going in, robbing banks, probably accidentally, slipped, where he had to kill some people to get away.
Yeah.
That's where I think the murders came from. I know nothing of him other than what I just read. But the thing that fascinates me is he had the wherewithal to go, screw this, I'm tearing up all these people's debt. So obviously he's wanted by the law, but the people are like, yo, keep doing your thing. And I feel like that gives him more of it's a good business plan because people are going to be less likely to turn somebody in that's helping them. It's Robin Hood.
So yeah, he hung out with gangster. He was a gangster.
Al Capone,
Muggsy. Fuck.
Muggsy Bogues, the NBA player?
No, Bugsy Siegel, Babyface Nelson, the gangsters of the 1930s, 20s and 30s.
Right. Chicago, New York.
Yeah, Chicago, New York.
Crime families, Gotti's.
Those types of things. He was a gangster. He was
sagged
killed.
His pants and all that.
What's that?
Sagged his pants, wore the flat bill crooked.
No, he wasn't an
t-shirt.
OG. He was the OG. He was one of the original OGs.
Gangsters.
Tommy Gunn riding on the side of car style OG. So what I have been told is, and I can try to verify this later. It's going to be a little difficult because most of my family that would remember this has passed.
Okay.
So he was really good friends with my great grandfather.
Wow. What are the odds?
Right. What are the odds?
I just find that.
So what it was is he would come into town. So he actually was killed in East Liverpool, Ohio, just outside of Wellsville.
Seriously?
Yeah. And I pulled up the Wikipedia page so I can try to pull up the fact information. So he was killed on October 22nd, 1934 in East Liverpool. When he would come into town, he would get with I can't remember my grandfather's first name, but his last name was Miller. They would get together and they would play poker in the basement at my grandfather's house.
Did your grandpa make moonshine in a bathtub down there?
No, he did not. He actually had no... other than just being friends with Pretty Boy Floyd, who is Charles Arthur Floyd, he was just friends with him. He had no other connection with...
How do you get friends with a gangster? Is it like childhood friends?
I have... So that's the parts that I don't know. But he would help him. The only things he would help him do is kind of hide occasionally. But they would play poker down in the basement. And it was every time that he was in town, he came to my grandfather's house and they hung out.
See, I want to be able to not dig deeper with this.
Well, see, I've asked. I've asked. That's the problem. Is
nobody remembers.
Now, the night that he was killed by the police, the FBI that were chasing him, he had come to my grandfather's. My grandfather wasn't home.
Okay.
They knew that he was on the run. And he had come to my grandfather's to hide, to try to get away. But my grandfather wasn't home. My great grandmother, basically, she had my mom or my grandmother at the house, and she's like, told my grandmother to hid her behind the couch, and they hid. They didn't answer the door. If they had answered the door, he may have actually lived at that point,
right? Because
they didn't know where he was then. They found him in Wellsville, chased him out through the country of Wellsville, into East Liverpool, out towards Beaver Creek. Now, then this is what I've been told, and this is the recollection I've been told, out through Beaver Creek, and actually shot him running up a hill, and that's where they got him at. Huh. But yeah, he actually went to my grandfather's house for safe passage to hide before he was killed.
That's crazy.
Now I'm going to look here and see what it says on Wikipedia to see if
this episode's sponsored by Wikipedia. If it's on Wikipedia,
it must be true.
It's right.
So, and I'm not going to make any changes or edits, but
you should edit like I know.
Let's see what it says here. So on July 23rd, blah 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 blah. I'm not going to read the John Dillinger after the death of John Dillinger. Yep. So, yeah, look at this. So what did I just tell you? I did not read through any of this stuff on Wikipedia.
I watched, you just now pulled it up.
So Pretty Boy Floyd was named public enemy number 1 on October 22nd, 1934. Floyd was shot in a cornfield behind a house in Sprucevale Road in Beaver Creek State Park in East Liverpool while being pursued by local police officers and FBI agents. By Melvin Purris, accounts differ from who shot him and the manner in which he was killed, having narrowly escaped ambush by the FBI agents and other law enforcement agencies several times after the Kansas City massacre. Floyd had a stroke of bad luck on October 18th, 1934. He and Ricciuti left Buffalo, New York, and their vehicle slid into a telephone pole in heavy fog. No one was injured. The car was disabled. Fearing they would be recognized, Floyd and Ricciuti sent 2 female companions to go get a tow truck. They planned on the women accompanying the tow truck, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to skip past that. After dawn, October 19th, motorist Joe Fryman and his son-in-law passed by, observing 2 men dressed in suits lying by the roadside. Feeling it was suspicious, he informed Wellsville, Ohio Police Chief John Foltz. 3 officers, including Foltz, investigated. When Ricciuti saw the lawman, he fled into the woods, pursued by 2 officers. While Foltz went towards Floyd immediately drew his gun and fired. He and Floyd engaged in one other gunfight, during which Foltz was wounded in the foot. After wounding Foltz, Floyd fled into the woods. The other 2 officers enlisted to help. So this isn't what I was told, but. Okay. So we have a difference of account here, but this is what's on Wikipedia. But the whole Beaver Creek
puts him in the same place.
It puts him in the same place. Puts him in Wellsville, which is where my family's from.
Huh.
It puts him.
Very cool.
They tried to, but and who knows? There may be a part here missing. Because it goes from, he was on October 22nd, it jumps back to the 18th and 19th. Let's see. And at least 3 accounts exist of one of the events. The FBI was given, the accounts agree that obtaining food at a local pool hall owned by one of his friends, Charles Joy. I don't know what my grandfather's name was. I can't remember what I want to say it was Chuck Miller, but it could have been. So, and I don't know if he owned a pool hall. So, we'll
who knows?
Check mark that.
Look more into that.
So, owned by his friend Charles Joy, Floyd hitched a ride in East Liverpool neighborhood on October 22nd. He was spotted by a team of lawmen. At which point he broke the vehicle, fled towards a tree line. Local retired officer Chester Smith fired, hitting Lloyd in the right arm, knocking him to the ground. At this point, the 3 officers diverged, and FBI agents later attempted to claim all of the credit, denying local officers that were present at the shooting. So, there you go.
So basically, that was a whole long, boring way to say that it is your great-grandfather's fault that we do not have a Robin Hood going around destroying our mortgages right now.
Kind of.
Of course, now he'd have to hack into a computer to do it, but still.
Right. But so there is somewhat of a connection there. To Pretty Boy Floyd, and I can try to find more. I'm supposed to go to a family reunion, but I don't know that I'm actually going to make it next weekend.
Fun.
Right.
All right. What else we got news story wise?
We got
way sidetracked there. And
we did.
Down a whatever.
Hey, Keke challenge. Keke, do you love me?
Dude, I've had so many.
Fucking hate that.
I've had so many people send me so many versions of that. The one where the dude slips and gets
the one I posted on the
bumper. That was like the 9th time I'd seen it.
That's fine because I thought it was hilarious and I posted it because I
still watched it again.
I watched it probably 10 times last. Hit share, then watched it 10 more times.
So what's the news story on this then?
Police interrupt attempted mid-road Keke challenge. That's it.
Police interrupt it?
They interrupted it.
Well, okay, that's all you're giving me?
That's all I'm giving you.
All right, next one then.
That's all. I mean, there's nothing more to read about it. California Police Department shared dash cam footage the moment an officer interrupted an attempt at the viral Keke challenge.
What if they're going like slow rolling on the freeway, maybe in traffic, and this dude or chick gets out to start dancing, and an officer just spears them, like Jack Tatum style, just drops them.
That would be, I'd tase them.
Just get out and tase them. Get back in the car.
Well, have you seen I'm sure there's one that's it's like a drill sergeant.
Yeah, I saw that one.
That's staged.
Oh, it's very staged.
I don't care. That's so staged.
Staged ones are not nearly as funny as somebody slipping and eating a car bumper traveling the opposite direction.
This whole Keke challenge thing, it's dumb. Don't get out of a moving car, dumbass. 2, it's dumb.
Good point.
3, it's dumb.
Yes, all 3 very good points.
Good. I'm glad we're on. Next. Beach closes after Volkswagen-sized shark sighting.
Okay.
Why is Volkswagen-sized a term of measurement?
Well, the first thing I pictured was the classic Volkswagen Beetle.
Right.
And I've never seen a shark of that size.
Well, I'm thinking, why can't it be?
Bulbous.
Volkswagen has anything from something the size of a Golf,
fluff,
all the way up to a
Volkswagen
Phaeton,
fluff. Yeah,
which is a land yacht.
I don't know. Stupid news.
Let's see.
What beach was it found at?
In Massachusetts. Were closed to swimmers after a pair of fishermen recorded their close encounter with a great white. One said it was the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. Volkswagen Beetles aren't that big.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's
I think of the big, now I'm picturing a cartoon looking shark with a big old humpback and a tiny fin on top or something.
Right. Jabberjaws.
I'm basically, yeah.
I'm picturing Jabberjaws.
I'm picturing a Volkswagen Beetle, but gray, with a little fin on the top and a little tail on the back.
Yeah. Hey, let's go out and check this out. We got a little closer. To our surprise, it was about a 12 to 13 foot great white.
What beetle's 13 feet long?
Right.
Next. I'm over it.
Why use a Volkswagen Beetle as a term of measurement? A Beetle is not 13 foot long.
Why ever use a Volkswagen for anything, including a car?
I kind of like driving them.
Chaps my cheeks.
Let's see. We got one more here. This one goes back to about 2 years ago. I don't know why this is still a thing. Retiree mounts 11 phones to bicycle to play Pokemon Go. Find another hobby, old man.
11 phones?
11 phones. I'm only reading the titles.
I never once played Pokemon Go, and I'm so glad. I have friends my age literally geeking out about it, like text each other, like, I found a Raichumon or whatever they're called.
I was unfenfriending people for playing this game on Facebook. Like,
your favorite game ever to play is Who Can I Unfriend Today?
There was one of the guys at work. He was like, I was playing Pokemon. He's like, he broke out his phone while we're driving to work or driving to lunch.
Yeah.
I wasn't driving. He's sitting in the back seat. Another guy's driving. He broke out his phone. He's like, I'm looking for and I just broke out my phone. I went, you're unfriended.
Right then and there.
Right. He's like, what? And then I took a screenshot of his face.
I think it's called a picture.
Well,
you're talking a screenshot of the Facebook profile?
I took a screenshot of his profile, posted that on my profile, and then called him out publicly for being almost 30 years old playing Pokemon Go. And why he got unfriended.
I play a lot of dumb games. I really can't say I don't, but I definitely am not running around pulling my phone out and pointing at people, see if there's some Pikachu on their shoulder I can catch or something.
No.
I don't.
But this guy is retired. He's retired.
Pokemon, Nintendo, whoever did it right, because that game brought in money.
Millions.
Oh my gosh, good for them. And I don't care if someone else plays it, but I think it's silly.
It's
like
not my
I said,
thing.
You know my views. I'm very libertarian. You do your thing. If it's not hurting anybody else, all those stories about kids walking off cliffs or getting hit by cars,
well, they're still walking off cliffs because they're
not paying attention.
It had nothing to do with Pokemon Go. That just exasperated the issue.
Hit head on by somebody. Big old lifted bro truck with the cool rims and the wheels that, or the tires that never go off road.
I was trying to make sure you didn't show up for the show today.
Well, no.
It didn't work.
This is a bro truck. You have a girl truck.
I didn't say I didn't pay somebody.
Oh, okay. Well, this was... When was it? It was a few days ago. But anyways, so he gets closer. He's kind of drifting my lane. I'm like, okay, I'm watching him. He gets closer. He corrects. And I look at him. As he's passing me, he's looking down at a phone or something. I'm assuming a phone.
Right. I just always assume everybody's looking at their phones.
Anytime I see somebody drift into my lane, and of course they correct so far before they get to me, I just lay on my horn the whole time they're approaching until they pass. Just so they know I notice that they are being an idiot and not paying attention to what they're doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, are we done with news articles?
I got one more because I'm just reading the headlines. Officer seizes 3 king cobras and 300 other reptiles from home. Why do you need 300 reptiles? Why do you need 3 king cobras?
Why would you write the article that way? Why not just say 300 reptiles?
Why not write it as 303?
Why?
Now, king cobras are big snakes.
Well, they're big, but constrictors get bigger.
Well, they do, but
king cobras just have that classic, like, these things will definitely kill you.
They got the hood.
They stand up.
They're venomous.
People in baskets put them in baskets and play flutes at them in their general direction.
And they
watch out. Watch out now. I'm a snake.
That happened in New York.
Snake. That's stupid. My aunt works for Children's Services, and one time she went to get kids. Some sneaky snakes were in this house. No, they went to the house. They didn't know what was going on, but in the basement were tons of cages filled with different birds, reptiles, like the walls. No, the kids weren't in cages. But the thing that freaked her out most, because she's not one really to be all outdoorsy and do the bugs and the spiders and the snakes, there was a piece of the drywall removed. And just had a little plexiglass and then about a 6-inch gap at the top. So as she's there, she's asking the parents of these kids that Children's Services is removing, what's the deal with that? Oh, that's how we feed, we're going to say Fred. There's some random name like that. She goes, oh, who's Fred? That's our snake that lives in the walls. They literally put a snake in their walls, put this piece of plexi over the studs.
Yeah.
So they could drop down mice or whatever into that to feed this giant python. I think it ended up being like 12 feet long or something, or 8 feet long, something ridiculous. And it would just crawl around wherever in the house. They'd never have a clue where it was. A constrictor of some sort.
What the hell is wrong with people?
With 2 very young children. A sneaky snake.
God. Well, apparently it's illegal to own a venomous snake in New York. And that's where all this happened.
It's illegal to own a big gulp in New York, let alone a venomous snake.
You can't own plastic straws in California either.
Oh, man. Salt straws.
Tactical straws.
Oh, man.
All right. Well,
where are we at?
We're done.
We're done?
Yeah, we're done.
Oh, I was about to chap my cheeks. Well, I wasn't going to chap my own cheeks.
Why not?
They tend to chap themselves. Do not wear corduroy in the summer if you are husky. That's all I'll say about that.
But it makes such awesome noise.
Instant fire starter.
That's right.
That's it for this episode?
That is it for this episode.
Facts and news.
News and facts.
Boots and pants.
God. All right, we're done. All right.
We're going to get some bourbon in you for the next one. You need more energy.
I know. It's because I was outside working on. I'm tired.
And that is the thing I want to talk about. Don't work and you won't get tired. You need more energy for the podcast. Just don't ever do the deck.
Well, if people would leave reviews and then we could get...
Hey, leave a review and you won a limited edition, one of a kind, Martelle family water bottle made of real copper aluminum alloy titanium with a plastic cap. Unobtainium. And we're just going to send you a random one. We'll pick out the design, but I did see a few of those metal ones there, and I was actually like, those are pretty cool.
Yeah, one of those aren't getting sent.
So, well, I'm not going to try and take one from, fight you about it. If you're sitting like, I got 50 water bottles, I'm not going to be like, I'll take it, that one. We're going to start punching each other over it. Somebody leave us feedback, Facebook, iTunes, wherever. If you haven't downloaded Podbean, the free podcast app on your phone.
That's right.
Jeez,
You need some bourbon.
I need a nap is what I was about to say. I forget. It's really bad when you haven't had sleep and you're falling asleep everywhere you go. Like yesterday, I was falling asleep at the picnic thing. I was falling asleep anywhere I went. If I sat for 5 minutes, I started dozing off. And last night, I could not go to sleep. I finally fall asleep around 12:30, and my alarm set for 6. I wake up at 5:30.
You need a finger in the belly button. You're getting that here soon, though.
You know what chaps my cheeks? Having a doctor tell me I have a hernia when she already tries to push it in my belly button, some umbilical hernia, and then saying I have to go meet with a surgeon to see if I need surgery when she already tells me I need surgery. And then I go to the surgeon and they say, by the way, you have a $50 copay you have to pay right now after you dropped $100 on your old truck. Go in there and wait 20 minutes for a dude to come in and finger my belly button for 5 minutes and then tell me, yep, we're going to do surgery. Let's schedule it.
For Randy, I'm Brandon Martelle, and this is the Buckhorn Podcast.
Hope you all have a swell day.
See ya. Make sure you like, share, follow on Podbean, Instagram, and Facebook at Buckhorn Podcast. See ya.